Welcome to Take One Talk, a podcast with suggestions and topics made up on the spot, and Take One has to deal with the chaos. Make sure to send in your comments and questions to our social media at Take One Improv so we can talk about it on our show. Now, get ready to take off your pants and piss yourself.
Hello! Welcome to Take One Talks. I am Take One. No.
Danny is Take One. Oh, I've kind of...
Wow, you've do the
penned myself in.
What is it when you go under the
limbo.
The limbo. I was thinking the hula bar, and I'm like, that's not correct.
Do the hula!
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of Take One Talk. I'm your host, Christian Harris, and this is my co-host this week,
Danielle Phillips.
Danielle Phillips. Cool. So, I guess we can start with kind of announcements, right? So we have I keep wanting to call it a con. It's not a con.
It's not a con.
It is an appearance that we're doing that's like a con. It's a con for people who like elves and fairies. I'm gonna go ahead and just move this foot closer, because why not? We each have our own microphone. Yeah. And you can bring yours in as well if you'd really like to.
Oh, no. I can't.
Nope. Yep. There it is. So we're going to be at Cottonwood Fair next weekend. So,
it's in
Amarillo, Texas. Is there an Amarillo anywhere else?
You know, there probably is.
Okay.
It just means yellow. Amarillo.
Oh, yeah.
Amarillo.
Yeah, so Saturday, we're going to be there all day. So if you like us, if you like fairies and stuff and dressing up in leather armor, then come and see us.
I think it's going to be a really cool Ren Fair.
It's going to be very interesting because I've attended a Ren Fair. I've never worked at a Ren Fair.
I haven't either. I'm not a Rennie.
I'm not a Rennie either. I wouldn't even say I'm a Connie, though, to be fair, either.
Okay.
Like, when we work there, it's fun. Going as, like, a patron, I would walk around once. Like how I do when we work. I walk around once, I'm like, that was cool, and then I would just leave. Yeah. So, I'm not a very social person.
I actually didn't go to any cons before I was in Take One.
Same.
I mean, I had been to a, quote, convention, but not an anime or a pop culture convention. It was like a journalism convention.
That sounds like a conference.
Yeah, okay, it was more like a conference.
Because
I think they called them a convention.
Oh, did they?
I think they were, because they were trying to make it sound fun.
Oh.
But it was more like a conference.
No, yeah, because I went to a VO conference the summer before I joined Take One. Because we're fun like that.
Yeah. You know what they say? Fun. Christian Harris.
Yeah, if you look up fun in the dictionary...
It's your face?
It's just my face. I'm actually scheduled to go in tomorrow to get fun tattooed on my forehead. But I'll stop partway through, so I'll just say F you for a while.
Good. That sounds fun.
It's not... All right, how you doing, Danny?
You know what? I'm doing pretty good. I've had a really busy week. And it was a week that shouldn't have been busy, but somehow is, and it's like going into another week of kind of busyness, but it's like busy with things that I don't really want to do. It's called work. That's because work is just a busy thing that you don't want to do.
Got you. Yeah. I mean, it's really funny because a lot of people will say like, oh, do a job that you enjoy so you never work a day in your life. But even then, like if it's a job you enjoy, it's still work. Like, it's still hard. I
don't enjoy my job.
Well, no, I get that.
I love my acting. I'm not traveling for acting, unfortunately. It's for, like, my day job. So.
But even acting is still, like I remember I don't want to call it complaining, but I did voice... I was complaining online in a like a support group I kind of made on Facebook, which I have since deleted. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, you know, like voice acting is really hard. Yeah. Like I'm exhausted. I don't really want to do this anymore today. And then I got obliterated by people in that support group.
Oh my gosh.
They were like, oh, well, you know, you're really lucky you get to, you know, do this. When I get home from work, this is how I recharge. I'm like, that's awesome for you. Not very supportive.
Yeah. I'm not playing the support in this group.
Yeah, but like even things that you enjoy can be exhausting.
Yeah, like I have an audition that just came in, and I am excited about doing it because I am excited about doing it, but I also know it's going to be a little difficult in the sense that I'm going to have to pull some energy out of myself.
Yeah.
That maybe, I'm not feeling at this exact moment.
Totally,
kind of thing.
yeah.
So, but I don't know. I feel like when you enjoy your job, I'm using quoting because everyone has times in their job where they don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
But when you consistently enjoy your job, it feels like, I don't know, you can ride those hills and valleys like more.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'm enjoying it. And then you have some downtime or some low time. You're like, oh my God, it's really hard. And it goes up again.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas I think there's a lot of people out there who work jobs that they absolutely hate.
They despise it.
They despise it every day. I actually had one of those jobs. I knew I had to quit it because I wished that I got into a car accident.
Oh, we talked about this before.
Yeah, that's the worst job I was ever at. I would drive to work every morning and I just hoped that I'd get into a car accident so I'd get some time off and I get to be in the hospital.
Right, yeah, because you were a party clown for kids.
Yeah.
And you were just like, I can't stand this.
You know what I hate the most? Children and clowns.
Children and clowns. No, because that was when you were like a full-fledged, like you were covering just the grisliest news stories.
Yeah, I was a broadcast news reporter, which is a really hard job because you could cover things that are amazing. Like you could cover basically a woman who's had triplets or whatever, and maybe she's like the oldest woman in town who had triplets, which is kind of a fun thing.
Yeah.
Or you could cover drownings. And I'm gonna be honest, the news is pretty grim, so they were like, yeah, if you could go out to that car accident, I know you're supposed to get off in 5 minutes, but if you could go out there for the next 4 hours, that'd be real good.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, really?
Yeah, that's awesome. I just noticed that the mic is blocking your face.
I don't want them to see me.
I know.
I only want to be heard.
Okay, well, so half of the people who are listening to this media, for the actual podcast will only be able to hear you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But I think we would be remiss if people missed out who are actually... I love watching the delay.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, because I just pulled the mic down, so I was waiting to see, it's good.
Oh, yeah, you can see it. I can't see that.
Right. No,
that's why I was like...
Nope, it's for me. I'm the host. Because the other monitor, which is the real time, I can't see that. That's behind a light.
Oh, okay.
What
about you, Christian? How has your week been? How have you been?
I... Also really busy. Yeah, I went to the studio. It's so funny. Really busy. How many times you going to work? 3 times, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for the longest time I was only going in once a week, and so going in 3 times, it was for a few different studios, and
that's very exciting.
It was cool. Yeah, I do enjoy working. And then when I'm not at the studio, I'm in my home booth, either doing auditions or making up marketing materials or posting. Or
you do audiobooks, which I know take up a lot of time.
I do audiobooks. Yeah, I am on chapter 25 or 6 of a 50 chapter book.
Okay.
I've been working on it for a while.
How long does it take you to finish an audiobook? And when I mean, I don't even know if my word of finishing, because you may send it off and then have to do revisions, but
yeah. So the way I work on audiobooks, I work exclusively with independent authors.
Yeah.
I am a part of different publishing houses, on their rosters and stuff. But for those, you just kind of wait until they deem you, either send you the audition or send you the job or what have you. I don't like waiting. I find it really does my anxiety in. And so I like to actively look for jobs, for audiobooks. And so the only way I can do that is independent. So people who are not signed in with contracts and stuff. Now, the downside of that is I have to take care of everything top to bottom.
Yeah.
So I record, I also then edit, mix, and master. Yeah. Well, mixing I don't do sound effects. I will. So if you're an author and you want a full-on audio drama with music and sound effects, I can do that. But I will charge you.
Like you're doing that.
Yes, you will. The pay will be commensurate with the amount of work. So the way I kind of measure the work I do in audiobooks, so just recording, editing, and mastering. For a finished hour of audio, right? So for the finished product, it takes me 4 to 6 times as long. So
for an hour, just say like you're listening to an audiobook for 1 hour.
Yes.
Does it take you 2 hours to create that 1 hour? Or are we talking like 3
4.
hours? 4 hours for every hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it takes me about 2 hours to record it.
Yeah, because you're not reading. So I don't know anyone who reads just a flawless.
There is a guy.
There is one gentleman.
There's a guy who, I don't want to say his name because there was scandal.
Okay.
So
there's someone out there.
There was a narrator out there who was like, oh yeah, for a finished hour of audio, for me, it's an hour and a half. So he would record the entire thing one take, no mistakes. That's the only way he could do it. And then he would proof it at 2 times speed.
Okay.
And that also would mean that he has 0 mistakes and all of his spacing is perfect, right? Because the only way you can do that in an hour and a half is if you make 0 mistakes. And so you proof it and it's just letter perfect every single time. Like, that's crazy.
That is wild. Does he like read to, did he like read to children on the side? Did he like
No,
go places?
I don't-
That's why he's such a good
The way
audio reader?
only way I can understand it was he wasn't doing fiction. He was doing like nonfiction, very straight narration.
Okay.
Because when I do that, it's slightly faster.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, for me, it's about 2 hours to record an hour of audio.
Yeah.
And then it
makes
takes me about 2 hours to edit that as well. Mm-hmm. And I proof, which proofing just means I'm listening for mistakes. So I'm reading the script along with while I'm reading or listening, and then I'm editing out mistakes, or I'm like, that take sounds really weird in this context, or like, oh hey, I just thought of a better way to do that, and I'll re-record things that way. So yeah, it's a lot of work. I could save myself time by hiring an editor, but then I would
lose money.
So then I have to balance out, like, okay, well, what's worth more to me, my time or my money?
So I heard that Arnold Schwarzenegger did his own audiobook. So he wrote a book and then he recorded the audiobook for it.
Yeah.
And by doing that, he knew that whenever he would get scripts, because he's an actor, he would have to memorize them. Like he couldn't read an act, he was saying.
Oh.
And so this audiobook, he has a really long post about it where he basically says like how hard it was for him to do the audiobook and how he realized that he had dyslexia from it. Like he was like, oh, through doing this audiobook, it really instilled in me like how hard it was for me, and I had to memorize portions of my audiobook. I had to memorize portions of my book for the audiobook.
Wow.
And I think that's wild that he had to kind of go and do that to be able to record it.
I struggle even when we dub and we're doing one line. I can't look away from the script. I mean, I'll jump back and forth sometimes, but I can't be like, all right, cool, got that line, and then just dub to it, unless it's a really short line.
If it's a short line, I can do it usually, but
my brain's doing too many things at once, and I can't.
I won't even look at sometimes the animation anymore.
No.
Like I'll after, I'll obviously preview and I'll look at the animation, but after the preview, no, I'm gonna look at the line and just hope that the person who wrote it left in enough pauses or put that in. And that's kind of what I'm looking for in the preview.
In the preview, I'm looking for, like, where's the pause?
Yeah, what's the timing on it? Like, how fast is it?
And then I will, I'm the same way.
And they can always, and Matthew David Rudd, who's an amazing actor, he's
all right.
He's pretty cool. he plays Panda in Jujutsu Kaisen. He was there for a lot of our bit sessions at first. Mm-hmm. And he was always saying that, like, if there is a pause in the line, you just take a pause, and guess what? No matter if your pause was the exact same length, they can move it.
Yeah.
And the engineer is going to move that.
Yeah.
And you just, as long as you take that pause, you can move it.
Yeah, I was doing some live action dubbing during the week. Mm-hmm. And the script wasn't finalized necessarily.
Okay.
Like, it was and it wasn't. Like, the director wasn't super... it doesn't matter. So a lot of it was me chasing... certain things, and chasing just means like the words happen first and then
you hear the sound
and you can watch the thing happen, and I'm repeating it basically afterwards. And then the engineer was awesome, and he just put stuff in and he moved stuff around, and like that's the greatest part about being able to record it.
How do do you feel about recording live action dubbing versus animation dubbing? Like, are there differences in how you approach the... I'm not even talking about the acting, I'm talking about the dubbing portion of it. Like,
so my very first dubbing experiences were live action.
Okay.
Yeah, so like almost like a year before I was with Crunchyroll, Funimation at the time, I was doing dubs with, they're called Zoo Digital.
Okay, I've heard of Zoo Digital.
Yeah,
I think I've seen your posts about it.
Probably me.
Probably some of the stuff you've done, which looked really cool.
Yeah, I was a knockoff Power Ranger. I love it, but I can't find clips of it. It's so depressing.
Dang.
Yeah, like it's on Netflix Korea, and I can't understand VPN.
In English?
Oh.
Like, where does your dub exist?
It's like, because I did one that was Indian, one that was Saudi Arabian, and then one that was
like, wait,
Korean.
you were
the productions.
Okay, so there were 3 different productions of
I did
Power Rangers.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I did 3 different shows. One of them was the Korean Power Rangers.
Got it. I was like, wow, they had Power Rangers in India?
Yeah,
that
wouldn't surprise me. But no. I did like a Final Destination type show.
Mm-hmm. That seems like it'd be popular.
It was actually pretty cool. Like the bits that I got to see. The Power Rangers was just fun. I love Power Rangers as a kid. But your question, like, what the difference is, so with Zoo Digital, so for Crunchyroll and Funimation, they have, the scripts are pretty static.
Yep.
They're in an Excel spreadsheet right in front of you, and they have things highlighted. It's very nice. Mm-hmm. And they even put down the timing next to it, so you know, like, when the line starts, when the line stops. Yeah, it's nice. And the director will usually highlight it for me.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's very nice.
In Zoo Digital, they have the lines on the side. Like, they have their own proprietary recording software.
Okay.
Right? So you don't use Source Connect, you don't use Zoom. It's all through their proprietary software, which is cool. But it's a little tough if you're not used to it. So you have this script on the side, but as the actor, I can't mess with anything. Only the director can move the script.
Yeah.
So in between bits, and like the same thing with Crunchyroll, though, I can't mess with the script.
Yeah, they do it.
Right.
Outside the booth.
Right. But a lot of the times I don't see the line. Well, I guess the same with Crunchyroll. I don't see the line until they come up, but I guess at that point I was so much less experienced. So it freaked me out. I had no time to prepare the line. But so the difference is, though, is that they had the script moving on a timeline. And so you have
almost like a teleprompter? Like was
kind
it
of,
like a prompter kind of thing?
Yeah, except instead of vertical, it was horizontal.
Why would you do that?
Well, the way they did it, so like
I need to know why they.
I like the theory of it.
Okay.
So they have a little line on the screen, and when the words hit that line is when you need to start.
Oh, it's like karaoke.
Yeah, it's like karaoke.
You know, they have the little bar that like moves, and you're like, that's where we going.
Except the words move. I would much rather the line move, because the words are moving and it's really hard to read them sometimes.
Yeah, they should have the line. They should, like karaoke, you know, if you go on YouTube and you're
or like the words light up, that would be great.
Yeah.
But as the words move, and I swear to you, in my brain, they're almost like handwritten. And so they're hard. They're hard to read, and like they're just moving, and like if they're moving really freaking fast, yeah.
Oh,
so in that
sounds very difficult.
It's challenging, yeah. And then on top of that too, with the way they do it, I feel like I'm dumping on Zoo. I'm not. Like Zoo, if you're watching, I would love to do more dubs with you. I'm so much more experienced now.
He's already mastered it now.
I have. I've done like 60 different anime, and I've been like, I love you guys. Let me be more Power Rangers. But so because of the way they do their software, Zoo is now they will release out their software to companies and then or to production studios, and they'll do their own recording. Now the thing is, though, it's because it's kind of simplified in the whole process, they cannot manipulate the sound files in any way. So like at Crunchy, if we go like a quarter of a second too long, they can scrunch it. I know some directors and some engineers think that that's taboo. I get it. But it also saves a lot of time.
A lot of them I've worked with are okay with it. They're okay with crunching it or lengthening it to a point. Like,
absolutely,
they
to a
don't want
point.
it to sound funny. They don't. I know that they probably have a threshold in which they're like, we won't go past.
They
that
do.
threshold.
You can see like they have I watch all the engineers really closely because I think it's very fascinating. They have a ton of presets.
Yeah.
And so if it's not within those presets, if it goes too far, they're just done.
There's like, you got to do the line again.
Yeah.
They're just like, sorry, do it again.
And they will crunch it once. That's it. They usually don't crunch it twice or expand it twice.
Like,
but that's how it is at Crunchy. But I've seen like engineers and directors from other studios outside of like Funimation who be like, no, like you will not manipulate the audio in that way. Which, hey, you're a studio. You do whatever makes you happy.
yeah.
But with Zoo, because it's usually like the director. I remember I did one, and it was like the director and like 3 other people. I had no idea who they were. Doing it, and I had to be pixel perfect, except not pixels. I had to be like flap perfect.
Oh.
You know, every single time.
Yeah, get your flaps perfect, Christian.
Yeah.
How dare you be flappy?
Yeah, I know, it's so flappy.
I find that I actually don't like listening to live action dubs. I know that's really taboo to say, but for me, it's so hard to watch them form different syllables with their mouth and hear it. Because I'm seeing on their mouth that they're clearly saying something different, and then I hear it, and I'm like, that's...
So what's really funny is I agree with you, but this is going to sound really bad, because as a dubbing actor, I don't want to dump on other dubbing actors.
No.
But a lot of English dubbing isn't, like in live action, they're not the best sometimes.
You're saying they're not matching their performance well.
Yeah,
like the acting of the
acting is flat or what have you.
That's fair. I have seen some new live action dubs on Netflix.
I think they're getting
super good.
They're getting much better.
Yes, there have been. I will say it's not in general. I find live action dubs to be flat, but there are some new ones on Netflix that I'm like, I didn't even know they were a dub. Like at first, like I toggled and I was like, oh my god, I didn't realize that this was dubbed at all.
Right.
And that's like, I know those actors like chef's kiss.
No, but I think it's the same too. Like for anime, like the only really good voice acting was done in cartoons, like kids cartoons. That's it. Like anime dubbing, like you think of Speed Racer and all that stuff, like back in the day, where it's just like, "Hi, get in my car. I'm gonna drive real fast."
Oh,
you know?
Look!
Yeah, Astro Boy, look out! It's an asteroid or whatever. Like I grew up watching I love martial arts. You can see from this. I watched a lot of kung fu movies, and when I was a kid, those were all dubbed into English.
Yeah.
And they just weren't good. You know, but now we've been working on it as an industry, and we're getting better actors and stuff like that. But have you ever watched, I'm assuming no, because you have no reason to, but watched a show that's in English? Like, let's pull out, like Loki, the new Loki.
Like a live action one?
Yes.
Because I've watched a lot of animation, Western animation into Spanish, because in Spanish class, I was trying to learn Spanish. And so like, you should watch a movie that you have seen in English a million times.
Yeah.
You should watch it in Spanish. Because,
Okay, exactly. Yeah. So I, you know, for various reasons, have been watching shows in Spanish dub that are English. And I'm like, man, they're like pumping life into it. You can actually feel like they're acting, they're doing the work, you know, whereas growing up listening to it is like, oh, hi, let's fight.
Yeah, they've gotten so much better.
Yeah, well, they have, but the dots were kind of connected for me when I watched a documentary called I Am George Clooney.
Okay, I don't know anything about this.
Oh, no?
Is this about George Clooney?
Sort of.
Okay.
He is not actually in it. So it's about dubbing actors all over the world.
Having to dub George Clooney.
Yeah, so usually in other countries, when an actor is like cast to play a celebrity, like an American celebrity,
someone that we
that's
see in
them. That's their career.
They are the George Clooney of,
they are the George Clooney
of
India or Mexico or Japan or whatever.
I have heard about this.
Yeah.
But not that specific documentary, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so this documentary was interviewing George Clooney dubbers all over the world. And like there's even an episode of Comedians in Cars Drinking Coffee, which is a Jerry Seinfeld show, where he does an episode with his Italian counterpart.
Oh, I have totally like scrolled on YouTube and like seen this like come up, and I didn't click on it, but I know it exists.
Yeah, so it's super interesting. And then like they talk about like in other countries, dubbing actors are actually famous. Like they do like the late night interview circuits, and they're held in high regard. I'm not saying like, hey, American dubbing actors need to be held in high regard. I don't really care, but it was just there was a level of respect. I'm like, well, that makes sense. You know, we as in America pump out so much, like so many movies and television and Hollywood. There's constantly pumping stuff out, and other countries, like, yeah, why wouldn't they dub it?
I wonder if they have that for Chinese. So, you know, Hollywood, Bollywood, and then I actually don't know what they call the Chinese, basically film industry there, but I'm sure they have a name for it because China is our biggest competitor in films. Like they put out about as many as we do, and they're at that high level budget.
Right.
I wonder if they have people in America who are like, I am, you know, like whatever. I play Lee in everything.
I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't really know how many, like, Chinese shows and movies we get, like, over here dubbed. I feel
like there might be quite a few that maybe don't make it over here mainstream, but, like, for people living in China, they might be.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, they might want to, like, watch it over there. Like, this is really big. I want to watch it.
But I don't know. I just found it really interesting, like, how they, in other countries, they really respect the dubbing people. Because, like, in America, like, especially for anime,
they don't care. People,
not only do they not care, they, like, actively hate on, like, English dubbing.
It's gotten so much better.
It has.
Like, it's actually, I love to watch. So when animes first come out, they usually come out in Japanese first. Like, they're a couple episodes ahead.
Right.
What I mean by even simuldubs are a couple episodes ahead in Japanese. Right. I love to watch shows in Japanese and then go back and then watch the episode, 3 episodes back where it's in English, in the dub. And they're just so different. Like, the experience of watching them is so different. Yeah. And they're equally as beautiful to me. Like, does that make sense? Like, I enjoy them. I'm like, oh, I so enjoyed, like, reading, because reading while you're watching a medium, it's a very different experience. Yes. Your brain is inputting. It's essentially like when you used to see people that wear masks. Our brains fill that in. Your brain is filling in gaps in the acting where you cannot hear. It's more akin to reading a book. You're kind of like feeling their performance, and that person has a voice in your head. You know, because you can't understand the language.
Right.
And so you're filling that in. And then when I watch it in English, I don't fill in as much stuff. I'm like, oh, this is such an interesting performance. That's not how I pictured it in my head, but it's usually equally as beautiful. Yeah. Like, it's just different.
No, and I'm
like,
sure.
Oh, and different. Sometimes it's better than I thought in my head. And that's when it's really fun. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I love that choice. Yeah. Like, I didn't know they sounded like that. Oh, yes. Yeah. Of course, they're so evil. They would sound like that. Yeah. And I find them to be very different experiences, but I think people should be open to feeling both experiences because they're just different.
Yeah. I prefer dubs, but it's funny. I'm one of those weirdos who, even when I'm watching things in English, I like subtitles. Because
sometimes you can't hear it.
Well, sometimes I can't hear it, but also, like, because the way they mix things in shows and movies, it's all for surround sound. And so, because it's really, I don't know if you ever, like, jump between dubs, like Japanese and English or whatever.
I haven't jumped between them that often. Not enough to know, like, a big difference.
I have, like, when you listen to, like, the Japanese, the vocals are so much more present in the mix. And then as soon as you switch over to English, the vocals are so much further back, and the music and the sound effects are so much louder.
I notice that in action movies a lot.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's really hard for me to watch an action movie without the subtitles.
Yeah, because they are made for the theater.
Okay.
They are mixed with the setup of a 360-degree mic sound system in mind.
It's so hard to hear. I miss so much in action movies. Yeah. Lots of things are going off, and the music is swelling. And for me, I'm like, I don't know what they said.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what they said.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. Like, it's a little frustrating. So that's one of the things about, like, the Crunchyroll app. Like, love you, Crunchyroll. Keep doing your thing. Is that when you are watching anime in English, you cannot turn on the English subtitles.
You can't?
Mm-mm.
Really? Mm-hmm. It won't let you?
No.
What about people that are maybe watching with someone who's, like, hearing impaired and they want to watch it?
I guess then they just assume you put it in Japanese and do English subtitles because you can't. You also can't mix and match.
Oh, That's
so like
unfortunate.
if you are like you were like, oh, let's learn Spanish, you can't watch it in Spanish with English subtitles.
Oh, that's unfortunate because
you can do it on Netflix.
It's a very fun tool.
Yeah.
To use when you're watching something. You're like, if I didn't understand, or I want to know what that word. I don't know what that word is, and I can just look down, and it's obviously the word that one word I didn't know. I'm like, oh, that's it.
I want to learn more curse words in different languages,
I need to know.
but I can't.
For you, it's difficult because your girlfriend Caroline is Spanish is her like first language.
Yeah.
And wait, can I not say?
We're good.
Wait, someone that you've seen multiple times,
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like it would be really, really nice for you to be able to like.
Yeah, and like there are
mix
shows.
And match that.
Yeah, there have been shows where we've tried to do that. Like there's a show on Netflix that was actually really interesting, where it's a very multinational cast.
Okay.
And so they have like different people speaking different languages, and they jump between. So if we're watching it in the Spanish dub, those other languages still exist, but then everything is subtitled in English. It's a thing.
Okay.
It's a thing. And also too, usually when we watch stuff, she'll like, oh, do you want to watch in English or subtitle in English? Yeah. I always choose subtitle because it's easier for me to read it than listen. Yeah.
I feel like Netflix does a lot of things right, but their app is like probably one of the biggest things they do right. Like the level that you can basically like modify things on that app to be able to mix and match that is really.
We
cool.
do it on Disney Plus too. Like we're watching Loki and we're listening in Spanish. I'm reading it in English.
I mean, Disney Plus has the same kind of money as Netflix.
That's very fair.
So we just need Crunchyroll to get sponsored by.
I mean, they're owned by Sony.
That's true, but does Sony have another, like, what is Sony's streaming service, like, for their, like, movies and stuff? What do they stream on?
That's a great question.
Do they do Paramount Plus? Like, do they partner with Hulu? Like, who does Sony,
I don't know, because I know there's quite a few Sony things on different platforms.
Yeah, like Spider-Man.
Yeah, like Spider-Man, we were looking through HBO, like, all the X-Men movies are on there, which is, that's Fox.
Oh, HBO is Fox?
No. X-Men movies are Fox.
Oh, okay. Like, why does Sony not have streaming?
I mean, look, I'm glad they don't. There's so many streaming services.
There's too many. It's at cable level right now where you have to, like, I have Netflix.
Yeah.
I have Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
I used to have Disney Plus, but I wasn't using Disney Plus enough to be able to justify that. And I kind of want to get Paramount for a little while because there's shows I want to watch on there.
I actually found that there are some Paramount Plus shows on HBO.
Okay. But then I had to get HBO.
Yeah, I know. I will say HBO is pretty cool.
Like there's so many, and I'm like, at that point, I'm like, can I just bundle them?
Yeah.
Can we go back to that bundling thing?
Like Hulu and Amazon has their own as well.
I have Amazon Prime, so I do have Amazon.
Okay.
But I just have the Prime service because I'm like, oh, I want things kind of instantly to my door.
Right.
Thing. So that kind of works out. But I'm like, I don't need any more streaming services.
Totally.
How do we go off of that?
So really quick, we do have a question because we never addressed it.
Okay.
Where's Corey?
Oh, you care about Corey?
I know, right? Ugh.
How dare you?
Like, he's so last week.
We killed him.
I ate him.
No, he's probably driving back at this time. 7:38. He's probably driving back from Amarillo at this point. Mm-hmm. So we're going to do the Cottonwood Fair in Amarillo. He actually went this past weekend to help build a few of the structures there because it's a Renaissance fair. They have some temporary structures that they're going to be utilizing. He helped build a castle front.
I kind of expect him to steal some of those facades and then like put them up around your place.
Yeah, like our bed was made by his dad, who's a carpenter, and is now our bed frame. It was at our wedding.
It's like a Shinto shrine type of deal.
Yep.
So I want like the front of your garage to be a castle. Yeah.
That's all I need. That's all I need.
I could see him. I could so see him doing
We could just cut it down, This is his dad. We can just cut it down. It can just go right in front of your garage. You just pull in. You feel like a king in your own home. I mean, your last name used to be King. Why not incorporate it now?
Yeah.
So he's driving back, and so he's not in this episode, but he's going to be in next week's episode, which we might do that episode, I don't know, on the way back. Like, it may be an episode that we, like, record on the phone.
road?
Yeah, we maybe, like, record it on the phone and kind of, like, set it up kind of thing where you can kind of see us.
That would be interesting.
That might be what we do for next week, but we shall see.
Yeah.
It may be an earlier in the day episode, too, as opposed to 7. It may be a little bit earlier in the day. It depends on our time frame for driving back.
That's fair.
So,
because, like, yeah, because this con, I'm just going to call it a con, because this con's so different, like, we're going to do a lot of learning on the fly.
Yeah, it's going to be a learning experience, because this is the first year that this Ren Fair has happened.
Right.
And I always found that first year conventions, Ren Fairs, whatever, events,
yeah,
they have a really, like, a beautiful, like, this is the first time this is happening. There's such, like, a beautifulness about it, but there's also a little bit of that chaotic energy.
And the chaotic energy is pretty fun. And
yes.
So this company that is doing the Ren Fair is the same company that we do, like, all of their events. Like, they have multiple conventions. We work all of them.
Fandom events.
Yeah, fandom events.
They're amazing.
And I think if this was like a first year con in chaos with a group of people we didn't know, I'd be a lot more nervous.
Yeah, and it's not. These people, they do many events every year. They actually, out of all the cons that we go and do, companies that we work for, they do the most events. Like, they do the most events. So that's really, like, I don't know how to say it. It's a well-oiled machine for them, so they're very good at it. Yeah. Sometimes when you do a convention that is more like, I don't want to say it's a nonprofit, but it's like they do one event a year. Mm-hmm. It can be hard because all the things they learned from last year's event, they had a whole year until they had to implement them.
Right, yeah.
And it's just not as, I don't know, like, you get the kinks out. The more you do, like, events, the more you, like, streamline it.
Yeah, and, like, you also have different problems for, like, big cons versus small cons.
Totally different
So,
problems.
like, if you have, like, A-Con, I don't know the company behind that one.
I think they only do A-Con.
Right.
They've done that convention so many years.
And even then, like, there are issues that come up. Because it's a humongous con. It's, like, what, 2 different buildings, 3 different buildings?
Oh yeah, it's a huge event that they do, and they do a really good job.
They do like, an amazing job. I'm not trying to, like, dump on them.
No.
But I just mean, like, with every con, there's always issues.
Yeah, I don't think you're not doing a con right if you don't come up with issues, in the sense that you're not pushing forward.
You're not innovating.
Yeah, you're not innovating. You're not really bringing your con goers new and fun things, because new and fun things mean that things are going to be unknown. You're stepping into the unknown a little bit. So I always find that if an event's like, that event went amazing, I'm like, yeah, it was also super boring. Yeah. Which thankfully doesn't happen. I see lots of innovation in the con circuit.
I think innovation's good. Obviously there are some things where I would rather it be boring. Like, oh yeah, like there was a con a while back where the SWAT was called up. Like, I would rather not have that happen. That
Christian,
sounds boring.
They called them on you.
They did, yeah.
You can't just go around telling people that they, that anime dubs are terrible. You can't do that.
I can do that. That's why I have made this platform, and I am dumping all over every single one of my employers. Zoo Digital.
That's why they swatted you, man.
That is, yeah.
They all swatted you at the same time.
They did, yeah.
That was a wild. I feel like when that happened, which wasn't to Christian, it was to someone else.
No.
But I was like, barely around, and I was like, oh wow, that happened. I'm gonna go back to my hotel room.
Well, the one I'm thinking of is when we were on stage.
I don't remember that one.
It's okay.
I don't remember.
We had hecklers at our show.
Oh.
And we talked to security afterwards, and they were like, oh yeah, no, SWAT was called because someone was making threats.
I remember that SWAT was called at a different convention because someone made a threat, and they had to, like, swarm in, and I was like, wow, I'm glad I'm up in my room just eating.
I remember one time we were at I left the con to get food because the bar, a dude cut in front of me in line at the bar.
Punched him.
No, I didn't punch him, but they stopped serving food immediately after him.
Like he was the last guy?
He was the last guy.
He got in front of you?
Uh-huh. I was not thrilled. Because I had stepped to the side to talk to some guys who were like, hey, your show was really good. I was like, oh, hey, guys, that's, like, thank you so much.
Full Karen might have come out. I would have tried to push her back because I was in public at a con and don't want to be a Karen, but, ooh, that would have been, like...
I was a little grumpy. So I got in my, like, it's one of the ones where I drove. So I just got in my car, got Taco Bell. And when I came back, there was a fire truck or an ambulance. I can't remember which one it was. It was like driving away from the hotel, and one of the management staff was booking it, and like, you know, he was a heavier guy,
like running after the ambulance.
He was running full tilt.
Why?
Because the ambulance couldn't find them. They had somebody who passed out at the rave.
Oh no.
So it was like, yeah, they needed the ambulance to come and help them.
Yes.
But I just remember thinking like, oh man, I'm so glad I'm gonna go eat this Taco Bell in my room. I can't.
You're like, this shit's so. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm going back up to my room, and I'm just going to go into a coma. Coma.
Yeah. So like things like that, I don't love. What was the point? Oh, can we talk about the schedule at the fair, Ren Fair?
We can, but I had to get my phone to see the schedule.
No, that's okay. So because you'd posted the schedule earlier.
Yeah. I think we have two official. I say official performances because we are going to be greeting guests at the very beginning.
Yeah.
We're going to be in the parade. I think there's a parade.
Is there going to be a cannon that goes off?
I have not been told the details.
Oh, no.
I don't know if there's a cannon or not.
Because I've been to one Ren Fair and there was a cannon.
There was a cannon at the
Scarborough
Fair. That was very fun. And then we are going to be doing two performances. And then we're also going to be doing I think there's like some kind of feast that's happening. I don't know what we're doing in regards to that, but it should be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, the Royal Feast.
I hope that I'm just going to be like haggling people while they try to have a lovely dinner.
But so...
That's the whole thing. That's all I'm doing the whole Ren Fair is just trying to annoy you while you're having a lovely time.
But I thought like you were so okay. To clear this up for me because I don't really quite. Hi, I'm an improviser. We're playing characters the whole time.
Yes.
Right, and you're playing like a queen from a foreign nation.
I'm a sorceress.
Sorceress from a foreign nation.
I'm a sorceress.
Are you gonna bring fireballs and stuff to throw at people?
Maybe. I might just bring, like, you know, I don't know, bad gas or something. Like, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm going to bring a lighter and some hairspray.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're also going to do a parade? I think there is. Yeah, the Royal Procession's what it was called.
It's where we walk behind other people.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like, usually when we do cons and stuff, we just do our own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
we are going to still have some areas where we're doing our own thing. I don't know what area that we are going to be in.
Right.
Yeah, I can't tell you. I don't know myself. So you'll just have to walk around the fair to find us. I'm pretty sure that I'm not supposed to tell us even if I knew our area.
No,
so people can walk around and find us.
That's fair. It's super funny, like how interesting and different this is for us.
I think there's some amazing acts that they have.
Yeah. Like
that they have brought in. I don't know all of them, but some really, really cool things. Corey has some cool whip stuff to do. He's got some cool. So if you want to be whipped by Corey, no kidding.
Oh yeah.
Legally, we can't do that. If you want to be in the vicinity while he whips, we can do that.
He whips. So the character. Oh, I probably should just keep it a surprise. The kind of character I'm playing.
Yeah, you can give it like if you want to give a hint or like a little.
I'm playing a drunk. That's gonna be my character.
We can't say anything about the things that we are doing
for sure. Yeah,
There's some mystery involved. Like I can say that I'm a sorceress, and that's about it.
My some of the things are a mystery for me, so I'll find out when you find out, and you'll see my improvising skills off stage. So we'll see. That's pretty good.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited about it.
It'll be fun. We'll make it fun regardless. Yeah.
It's supposed to be a really good weather. So like it's not going to be too hot. I know it's been sweltering out there and it's just now starting. It's just now recently in the past 2 weeks starting to feel like I can go outside and not feel like my skin is peeling off.
Yeah.
And so I think there's going to be more of that kind of weather. So if you're in Amarillo or West Texas, we'd love to have you come out to this. It's not
East New Mexico.
Yeah. Wherever. Colorado.
South.
Leave that beautiful state of yours. Come to us.
Don't. Colorado is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Because I went to Colorado for the first time ever for a con. And I was like, I get it. This place is beautiful.
It is gorgeous there. I can see why everything's so expensive and why it's hard to live there.
Yeah, that's fair. But just like... Because we did a con in Colorado Springs. I say the team. I didn't go. And it was just gorgeous.
Colorado Springs has been one of my favorite big cities in Colorado.
Yeah.
One of the larger cities I've been. I've been to Denver, Colorado Springs, Durango, Trinidad, Cuchara.
Trinidad's I like Trinidad.
Trinidad's cute.
It's so pretty.
I was at a cafe in Trinidad, and an older gentleman came over there and was like, because we were looking at the photos on the wall of like they were basically photos of Trinidad from like 100 years ago. And he's like, did you know that Trinidad was supposed to be the capital of Colorado? And I was like, no, sir. He's like, there was a time when it was going to be the seat of Colorado, but it got pushed out by Denver. Pushed us out. We were a mining town. We were going to be something. Now we ain't. And then he just like went back, and I was like, God.
He was a ghost. He was from 1849.
He was like hunched over. And
yeah.
He was like, I hope you enjoy the city.
Yeah.
We were like, we're going up to, I think we were going up to Colorado Springs. I was like, we're going up to Colorado Springs. He's like, that city ain't got nothing on us.
There. At least you're not going to California for the mines. This was the original mining town.
He probably doesn't exist. He really was a ghost.
I think he was.
The ghost of that cafe. It was a very old cafe. Like, it had been in Trinidad a really long time. It was on the square.
Yeah.
It had a bunch of old photos. And I was like, wow, this is historic.
You met the owner of that cafe.
I did.
Like the creator, the founder.
Well, did you have any like segments you want to get in? Anything that you had planned?
Look, you should be host. Usually we have segments.
Yeah.
And usually we do come up with prompts. I had one, but I also didn't know Corey. Oh, good Lord.
Corey wasn't going to be here?
I am so sorry I kicked the microphone. Yeah, I didn't know Corey wasn't going to be here, so I had a segment that I don't think is going to work with two people.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. We'll see, and maybe we're like, it's not going to work. So
my idea was, have you ever watched the British show Would I Lie to You? Mm-mm. Or Why Would I Lie to You?
I haven't. It sounds amazing though.
I enjoy it. So in England they have a lot of those celebrity panel shows.
They do.
That went out of vogue in the U.S. in like the 70s. I think.
Who wants to hear celebrities talk?
Yeah, I know. Who would love to just listen to two actors wax poetic? But so they have it's all comedians and stuff that go on the show, and it's two teams, 3 on each team, and each person they have. Basically, they'll present a one sentence premise, and then the other team can then ask questions, and they're trying to figure out if it's a lie or if it's true. Like, did this really happen?
So what is an example that you would do?
I once jumped out of an airplane without a parachute.
Oh, and team is going to guess?
Then your team is going to guess whether it's true or false, and then you probe me.
Oh, I think I have seen an American show that's similar where they have 3 different people, and one of them maybe is like the world's strongest man.
Yeah.
And they have 3 different people, and they try to probe each one of them to find out who is the real strongest man.
Sure. Yeah. Something
similar.
Yeah. So I was thinking with like the 3 of us, we would basically be like the teams of 2. But I mean, we're all on our own team ultimately.
Yeah.
But we could still we have to guess Corey's thing, and so we'd be a team in that temporary alliance.
Okay. I think we can do it with 2 people. We'd just be 1 versus 1.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to probe you.
Okay.
And let's say I get 3 questions. I can only ask a maximum of 3 questions.
Oh, you want to add that challenge to it?
I have a maximum of 3 questions.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I because I thought of this last night, I already do have a starting.
Okay, go. Yeah.
Cool. I didn't think of actually how to start it. I was once stranded in a pool of my own feces.
You were once stranded in a pool of your own feces.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm trying to determine if this is true or false.
True or false.
Okay. So a question I would ask you about this is...
Sorry if anybody's squeamish about poo. I should have given like a warning.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Warning? I don't know. Can I ask you, I guess, a qualifying question about this? Like,
you can ask me whatever you want.
Did this happen
in America? Yes.
In America? Fudge. Did this happen while you were a minor?
Oh, like a child?
Yeah, under the age of 18.
Yes.
It happened under the age of 18.
Yes.
Okay. Did you get in trouble for it?
No. Not really.
Were you into it?
No, I was not. I was decidedly not
I think
into
this is
it.
true.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. It's a true story.
All right, tell us. You have to
The
explain
whole story?
a little bit, yeah.
I love this story, by the way. It's one of my favorite stories to tell. So I was a little kid, like elementary school age. I don't remember exactly how old I was. Let's just say like 7. And I had the stomach virus, stomach flu, whatever. So I was puking. I was liquid. You know, it was terrible. And so I was in my mom's room because she had the ensuite bathroom. You know, we were so middle class. And she gave me a bucket just in case I couldn't make it to the bathroom. But I didn't want to puke in a bucket. That's gross. So anyways, I was doing fine. I was puking, I was pooping, not a big deal. But then I felt I have to do both.
Oh, no.
I have to do both. So I was making my way to the bathroom and I was trying to do little kid math of, okay, I can't do both at the same time. In retrospect, I was told you could have like puked in the bucket while sitting. I was in a panic. It didn't even occur to me. So I was like, all right, cool. What I can do, I have 2 options. I can poop first and then put my face there and puke. But I don't want to do that.
That sounds awful.
It sounds horrible.
Honestly, I would not have chosen that.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I chose
absolutely.
to puke first, and then I was going to spin around really fast and put my butt on it, because there's any splashback, it's my butt.
Sure. Yeah.
You know? I'd rather it be my butt than my face.
He still says that to this day.
I have a tattoo. I have a tramp stamp that says that. So I puke, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, I feel so much better. Oh, no. I feel too good. I feel way better than I should. And then I feel a trigger. I'm about to be gross. I felt a tickle down the back of my leg, and I look down, and it is just an ocean of liquid poo.
Oh, no.
And I'm just standing in it. I take some toilet paper. I try to clean it up. I take a swipe at it. It reforms like the Terminator, the T-1000. Like it was gross. So I'm standing there. And in my memory, my older brother was having like a party with his friends over. I've been told it's not true, but when I tell the story, it's true. So there's a party going on. My mom's not there, or she's in the house, but she's not in the vicinity. So I call out, "Mom! Mom!" And then I just hear her voice. She doesn't come around the corner. I just hear her voice. She says, "Do you need new underwear?" Yeah, but come here. She starts to walk. I see one eyeball peek around the corner, and then she goes, huh, and then she just abandons me. She leaves. She bolts. I just hear her retreat, and I'm standing there, like, standing in feces. I'm covered in it as well, sort of, like from the waist down.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm 7, and my mom left. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Eventually, my older brother shows up, and he has like maybe my mom threw the underwear around the corner. Let's say my mom threw the underwear around the corner. I changed. Then my brother shows up with a bandana around his face, and
like he's going in for an op. Like this,
Yeah.
like an op.
yeah,
It's gotta be
he had the black little like lines on his face, and I went back and I cleaned myself up. I went back to my mom's bed watching TV, and the way her bed's situated, it's like a straight line into the bathroom. So my brother, who when I was a little kid was a bit of a bully to me,
Yeah.
I got to watch him clean up my poop. And he was going, huh, huh, and I was like, I'm sorry that this happened, but I'm also like, this is such vindication.
Oh my gosh.
Because he was pretty brutal to me. Yeah, I told that story. I took creative writing in high school, go figure. And I remember telling this story in front of the classroom, and my teacher was hiding behind her chair. She gave me an A for that, though. I wrote it. It was really well written, she said.
It was visceral.
It was evocative. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my story. I actually have a couple poop stories. It's really...
You and Corey do.
Yeah.
No wonder you're friends.
No wonder.
Wow.
We share poop stories.
That's good.
That's why I couldn't share the story if he was here.
Yeah, it'd be too much.
Yeah. Do you have a premise?
I have
or not a premise, but like, do you have a statement?
I have a statement.
Okay.
I was while you were talking, I was kind of like in the back of my mind, being like, what do I want to pull? What's something that's happened to me? Where it hasn't happened to me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I once broke into a man's house and had relations with that person.
That's the one you want to go with on the live stream?
That's all. Yes, that's what I'm gonna say. I once broke into a man's house and had relations with him.
And then you want to tell the story afterwards?
Yeah, I'll tell it. If it happened.
Okay. I'm going to go under the assumption that everybody was of age. Like, legally of age. We're just going to... Even if the story...
Yes,
okay.
Yes, we're all...
That's not a question. This is an assumption
yes.
I'm making.
No, why would I... Yes. Great.
Oh, gosh. What you snuck in? Did you sneak in because he still lived at home?
No.
Oh. Did you? Oh gosh. Oh
Was it Corey? Yes. No. Okay.
Oh no. I'm trying to all my questions are weird. Did you... What floor was the room on? Like, what story? First, second, third?
I think it was on the third story.
Oh. How did you get up there?
Stairs. Like, there's stairs.
No. I understand that. I'm gonna break the rules. The fourth question. So you didn't scale from the outside. You broke in. Oh, you broke in the front door. Ooh, that's weird. I'm going to say, because I want it to be true, I'm going to say true.
It is true.
That's so crazy.
It was
okay.
An apartment. Oh, so there were stairs on the outside.
I was picturing a house.
Each unit. No. This person had their own place. They lived their own life. They were of age, baby.
Look, I being of age, I still live with my family. So
this was an ex-boyfriend. We were broken up.
Oh, even at the time it was ex.
Yes, we were broken up.
Cool.
At the time we were broken up, he had just gotten out of jail. So he had just
This story is getting better.
He had just gotten out of jail because he had beat up his roommate. Him and his roommate, a couple of nights, I think it was probably 4 nights before, got into a huge fight. The cops got called, and they were beating each other up. They hated each other. They didn't hate each other all the time, but they obviously had something that went awry. And the cops showed up. They ended up hitting a cop. They're like, we're arresting you right now. So they arrested both of them. They're like, listen, we're arresting you both for good measure because you're resisting and being assholes. Can I say that? I don't know.
I mean, it's whatever.
They were not being nice people.
I would rather you say asshole than tell the story. We're here now.
But we're here now. So during that altercation, a window had been broken. Something had been thrown from inside outside the window. I don't know what it was. Maybe a rock or whatever.
Their pet rock they kept inside.
Yeah, their pet Rocky. So I went up to the window because I knew he had just gotten out of jail. He had just gotten out, and we worked at the same place, and everyone at work was like, where is this person? Where is this person? I'm not going to say their name. And I was like, I don't know. I think they're in jail right now. And they're like, well, we know you know. And I was like, I'm not dating them anymore. I don't know. And so I went to their house later, or their apartment, and I looked in their window, and I saw that they were sleeping in the bed there. And so I knock on the window. They don't wake up. Knock on the window. They don't wake up. I crawl through their window. Get into their apartment. And then they wake up and they're like, what are you doing here? I'm like, your window is broken. Everyone's asking about you at work.
I love how you turn it on him. Your window's broken. You're just asking for weird people to come in here.
Yeah. Is your safety important to you? Is it important to you? It's clearly not. And he was like, whoa, what are you doing here? And then I was like, everyone's asking about you at work, blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, by the way, do you want to do it?
I love how you whisper it.
You want to do it? And I was like, well, yeah. But like,
I mean, obviously. Do you think I actually care about how you're doing? No.
I almost cut myself on broken glass, of course. That's why I'm here. Come on. And then that's what we do. And then later on, I was like, wow, I broke into his house, and then we did it. Wow, that's kind of weird.
That is the best and the worst story ever. That's so funny.
I have another story about that ex as well that we'll see.
Yeah, maybe we can play this again.
With Corey here. I don't think Corey knows that story, by the way. I don't think that never came up in our dating.
Yeah, so that was one thing I was thinking about was like with these stories with the two of you two know each other, you're married, so you know each other pretty well.
I've done a lot of stuff though, so
that's great. So my downside is that I have a really bad memory, and I tend to tell the same stories over and over again because I forget if I've told people the stories. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, oh man, this is one of my favorite stories have I ever told you. But luckily,
no, you have not.
That's great.
I will tell the same stories over again at times if I find out they're like fun stories that people like.
No, yeah.
But I also have a lot. I've lived a very full life. Too full, actually.
I haven't. So I have like 3 stories I can tell, but I can't remember who I've told them to.
I can't tell any of my stories to children.
Great.
So none. Oh, what is my segment?
Yeah,
I wanted to do a quick, fast segment, and I was trying to think of something that had happened this week that could be like a jumping off point. But since I'm going to Philadelphia, tomorrow, I really wanted to know, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not super excited about Philly. No Phillyites hate me or whatever they call themselves, Philadelphians.
My brain is really stuck on Philadelphia, so all the Philadelphs. No offense, marketing for your city has been kind of bleh. Oh, great.
Some cities have great marketing, and you're like, I can't wait to go there, even though you don't know that much about it. But you're like, yeah, it seems so cool. Philly's not one of those cities. What do you think the marketing should be for DFW? Like, if you are in charge of the marketing of DFW, like, how would you market it?
Just as like a general, just like of the city itself?
Yeah, like a general, like a quick thing of like, okay, so New York, it's the Big Apple. You can see Broadway. You can eat anywhere. You might even see Taylor Swift on the streets. New York City.
You can mug Taylor Swift. Yeah.
They put that in your social media.
Yeah.
So what's Dallas's marketing?
Oh man. The melting city.
Melt here with us.
Yeah, melt here with us.
Nothing gets you wetter than when your sweater.
That's terrible.
It really is terrible.
I don't look. So I'm a pretty negative person. So the first thing I think of is just oh yeah, it's really hot and conservative. So if that's what you like.
You ever wanted to be sweaty and talk about reducing the debt limit?
Oh yeah, come to but Dallas itself is pretty liberal, in a sea of conservatism.
It is. It's a very urban area in comparison to the other cities here.
Yeah. Gosh, how would I market DFW? I would almost call it the never-ending city. You can drive for multiple hours and you go from obviously you have city to city, from Flower Mound to south of Dallas. It's just one big city.
Have you ever wanted to get on a never-ending highway loop?
Yeah. Dallas.
It's its own speedway.
Yeah. If you love the sun and you get cold if it's below 100 degrees, come to Dallas. I think that's probably how I would do it.
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad. Expansive roads. Feel the road underneath you for hours. If
you love being around people and are not crushed by the weight of hundreds of thousands of people in a city mile, come to Dallas.
All right.
Because there's just so many people.
They can crush you.
It is insane.
Step on me, Dallas. That's the marketing for it.
Oh my gosh. You've gone to a different tier. I have not followed you there. Okay, how would you market DFW?
DFW? Oh.
You said that as if this is a new question.
Oh no, I thought you might give me a different city.
Oh.
That's why I was like, oh.
Oh, I can do a different city.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. How would you market Chicago?
Chicago?
I know it's like another big one, but
Yeah, you won't get shot as much as you think. I've been to Chicago. It's actually very, very cool in Chicago. But everyone was like warning me when I went to Chicago. They're like,
dude, it's straight up. It's gotten real dangerous.
You gotta be really careful in Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I was like, I'm gonna be careful wherever I go.
That's
I hadn't
true.
planned on being like pulling off a shirt and be like, I'm uncareful.
Yeah.
I'm a tourist. Please mug me.
Yeah.
I hadn't planned on that.
I have one of my best friends in my whole entire life. He lives in Chicago and he's got 3 kids and a wife.
Aw.
And
Living the dream.
Yeah, he's living the dream. And I asked him, I was like, yeah, man, like, I keep hearing all this stuff about Chicago, how it's getting real dangerous. He's like, yeah, I don't really have to worry about it because a lieutenant in the local, like, mafia lives across the street from me. And I've been really nice to him. So, yeah, I'm good. I was like, okay.
If you mafia, you profitia? I don't know. I guess Chicago, where gangsters rule. No, for reals.
No, for reals.
For reals.
For actual reals.
Oh my gosh, I love that. They're like, yeah, no, I got this person on my side, my neighbor. He's a good guy.
Yeah. But he's also like one of the friendliest people. My buddy, he's very, very friendly.
No, the mafia guy's probably also really friendly. Super friendly.
Yeah, right up until you piss him off. Yeah. Oof.
So I'm gonna go to Philly, which I found out is about an hour from New York City, which I'm really excited.
It's an hour from New York City?
It's about an hour from New York City. I did not realize it was so close.
I didn't know that either.
But I spoke to someone on the phone that works at the mall that I'm going to, because the place that I work is a family entertainment center. We have multiple locations. Malls
are just like big ghost buildings now.
They are. But the person I spoke to that works at the mall had a very thick accent. And to me, someone who's not a Yankee, I don't go up north all that much. I am not proficient in hearing someone's accent from like Jersey, New York City, at the other regions and be like, I know exactly where that's from.
Yeah.
And so I heard her accent and I was like, is that a New York? I actually thought, is that a New Jersey accent?
Yeah.
That's odd. And so then I looked it up later, like how far Philly is from New York City, and they're actually just an hour. I'm excited to hear everyone's accents up there. I want to like
crazy.
Immerse myself and just to hear them talk up there.
Yeah. I've never been to Philly. I had he wasn't a friend, a classmate when I was a kid who his family came from Philadelphia and he was just obsessed with Philadelphia.
Did he have an accent?
No, because he was like, I'm from Indiana, so like he was just he grew up in Indiana. His family was from Philly.
Okay.
But one of my favorite holidays I ever went on was my spring break senior year in high school. Went to New York City, and we went to Washington D.C. for a few days, and then New York City for like a day.
Yeah.
Because it was cheaper to be in DC because my buddy's dad lived there. But that whole week, we just like were going to different art museums. It was we went to like the Metropolitan. We went to art galleries. Like, because the whole reason I went to New York City was one of my favorite artists, Alex Gray, has a gallery in New York City.
Is that who the 50 Shades of Grey are based off of?
No.
Darn.
No. He's one of the primary artists that Tool uses for their album stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that how you found out about
100%,
like initially?
Yeah. He's very like spiritual and metaphysical and stuff like that. It's really neat. But yeah, it was just like these 3 18-year-olds running around like, we're gonna go look at art.
I love that. I like that premise of you just 3 18-year-old boys.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm gonna go to New York City. I'm gonna look at the art.
Yeah.
Maybe we're gonna see a Banksy.
Yeah.
Maybe he was here.
I don't think Banksy was even around then.
Really?
Yeah, this was like 2007.
Okay, he probably was around in the UK, but probably
I mean, he existed,
but like had maybe not brought his art, because I know that he's done art around the world in urban areas usually. No,
because we went to a lot of like private art galleries, and then like the biggest one we went to was the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Would you recommend that? Like, would you
the
say
Metropolitan?
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, and like DC had a lot of really cool art museums and like art galleries and stuff like that. I look, if you if you like art at all, just go to art galleries. They're great.
I love art. I'm really sad that I didn't get to go see one of the, I think it's a Natural History Museum in Chicago, which isn't art, but I wanted to see a bunch of dead bones.
I like to see live bones.
Oh, every day.
Every day. No, yeah, there was that one, that like touring art thing that was all the different like cadavers and stuff like that, like actual.
Was it like the muscle where you could see the muscles?
Yeah.
And they showed that to me in school. We went as a field trip.
Really?
Yeah, we had to like sign a waiver that said like, if your child is traumatized from seeing this exhibit.
Well, we won't know till we try. Get in there, Junior.
Get in there. And I just remember my mom was like, "Are you gonna get out of school? Go do it." Whatever.
Yeah.
And I like, not everyone got to go, and I was like, I get to go see these weird peeled bodies.
Yeah, that's really like.
That was a formative memory for me. Like,
I'm
see
sure.
this like weird
thing.
I don't even know what it's called. Like, if I had my phone, I might look it up. I don't know what I'd look up. A peeled body exhibit.
I think, I don't remember what it's called either. Okay, so that was a great segment. I did not get any questions this week.
Okay.
I didn't poll or ask anybody because my week was a little busy. So let me.
Is there a place that people can send you questions to?
Me personally,
or just send them for the podcast? Like, is there a place that people can send them?
So for Take One in general, a good place to go would be the Take One social media.
Yes. Whether
through DMs, although that would require us to communicate, which we never do. We don't talk unless it's on camera or on stage.
Yeah.
Or
it's part of my agreement.
Yeah, it is. We all sign a contract that no one will talk to Danny outside of work.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a mute.
Exactly. So you can either do DMs on like Instagram, Twitter, or you can comment on like the latest posts.
They can email takeoneimprov@gmail.com.
Great.
It is TAKE1.
The number one.
Improv, IMPROV @gmail.com.
GMAIL.
Yes.
.com.
So they can email us there. I will get them. I get all the emails from that. That is just kind of our general email for people that, if you ever want to book us on another podcast, on your program, if you want to try to, see if we're going to come on your program, or if you really want to book us for a convention, whatever it may be, you can please use that email. I get it to my phone. I can see those.
Yeah, if you're really wealthy and you're having a birthday party and you want to book Take One.
If you want to buy us a house.
Oh my gosh. I saw a Instagram ad for this car. It's like, it looks like a 67 Mustang.
Okay.
It's completely electric. And I was like, this is a beautiful car. Like the old 60s Mustangs are really great. I looked up the price. It was almost $500,000. It was 350,000 pounds, which was like 420 something dollars. Yeah. I very quickly closed that Instagram page.
Google, don't even get any ideas.
No,
you were like, I can't afford to look at this.
No, I'm like in the process of figuring out how to build a booth right now because booths are expensive.
I thought you had a booth.
No, like a standalone like you guys have.
Oh, you don't have. I thought you had.
I'm in a closet.
Oh, I thought you had maybe not a fully enclosed booth, but it was like almost like a 3-walled thing. If that makes sense. Like, and you would like come in and maybe like close a curtain or something.
No. So I actually have a door. Yeah. No. So I'm in a walk-in closet and I have sound dampening, but it's not soundproof. So there are times where, like, especially in the summer, I'm not going to turn off the AC because I live with other people.
Yeah, you don't.
And I don't want to kill everyone because, like, I do audiobooks. It's like 6, 7, 8 hours a day.
Yes.
So yeah, I can't be turning off 115-degree weather outside. Turn off the AC.
No. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you can. Like, are you going to build it yourself?
I have been talking with people on Facebook Marketplace who are selling theirs. It has not been fruitful, so I am in the midst of designing what I would like.
I do know I can connect you after this is over with some people that I have worked with that I've heard some really good things about the booths that they have built.
Perfect.
So like I've just heard really good things about some of the booths, and they're a lot cheaper than some of the some of the other places that are, I don't know, they manufacture them.
Right.
More like, I don't want to say reputable, but they're not like mom and pop shops.
No, I mean, I get it. So there is, upsides and downsides to doing the established brands.
Yeah.
So
they're
like
very expensive.
They are very expensive. But when we, as voice actors, and we work remotely, having that brand name does help those other studios be like, oh, hey, cool. Like, we know Whisper Rooms. Yep. We know what they're like, kind of thing. And I've seen people selling Whisper Rooms for pretty cheap, but they're only selling single-walled. And I need a double wall. I just do.
We have a single-walled booth, and if we were remaking it, we would do it double-walled. Because... I mean,
the cool thing about the double wall is you have to lift it up, but you can just build a box around it.
Yeah, so there are ways I think that we can improve our booth to be a double wall without getting rid of it.
Right, 100%.
Like what is it? Corey calls it like Mark 1, Mark 2. Like get another mark in it.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. I hope you can like get your plans maybe for like this next year. Like you finalize your plans, and then in January you can like start like I don't know, building it or whatever you need, like finding it.
Yeah. Well, any questions here? Real quick, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food?
Yep. Isaac asked.
Oh, I love Japanese food, particularly sushi.
Sushi.
Salmon.
Great. Mine's burgers. I had a burger from Jack in the Box earlier today. So that's my thing.
Burgers are great.
That's how I have this girlish figure. Okay, everybody. Well, that's us. So if you're in West Texas, Amarillo next weekend, next Saturday, come to see us at the Cottonwood Fair, and I guess see the rest of the Renaissance Fair as well.
Yeah.
If you wear elf ears, I'll call you Your Majesty. That's a guarantee from me to you. All right, Danny, any last minute?
We'd love to see you at the Cottonwood Fair, and if you're not, we are going to be performing at Stomping Ground the first Saturday of the month at 7:30.
All right, everybody. We love you. Bye.
Bye.